Hello, everyone, and welcome to another elite episode of the Get Authentic with Marcus show. My name is Marques Ogden. On today's episode, we are joined by Mr. Harvey Mitchell. And you know what? Let's bring him on down. How you doing today, Harvey?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
No problem, my friend. We connected through LinkedIn. We know a lot of the same people in the insurance space. You work with some people that I know, like Charles, my buddy Chris Paradiso. So it's awesome to have another insurance guy on the podcast. And first question, Harvey, what does the word authentic/authenticity mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's first of all being confident in who you are and knowing that where I'm at right now may not be where I'm going to be 5 years from now, but I don't have to pretend that I am 5 years from now, that I can be present right now and be happy and be content with what's in my hand as I hope for more, work for more, and build for more. And that's part of why I'm in my car because that's part of where I'm at. The majority of my day is in my car, So
Mm. You
yeah.
know what, Harvey? I really like that. So, are you in your car traveling to see clients, meeting prospective clients? Please dive more into that because I like the fact you said that being authentic is understanding that who we are is probably not going to be the same person 5 years from now. But I like what you also said about this being present and being happy with where you are and not trying to do something or be someone that you know, right, Harvey, that you can't be. So please tell us a bit more about in your car. Do you work from there a lot, meeting
Yeah.
clients? Give us more of that, please.
Yeah, so I do drop-ins where I'm visiting new businesses that I'm just now starting to prospect. I'm following up with other people I've been prospecting for the last year or 2 or 3 years. And then also referral meetings, going out, meeting people and building referral teams for different parts of my business. Like last night, drove an hour into Illinois, was prospecting some clients. I came back, met with some referral partners, dropped in on some clients on my way back, and then I was at a big networking event last night. And so that's the majority of my life right now is in my car. I'm on the front end of my business,
Mm.
and there's coming a point when I probably won't be in my car as much. It'd be more selective. But right now, it's about just building my book and knowing where I'm going.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really gained some great insight from Harvey saying that right now he's on the front end of his business and he has to put the work in because he's starting to really just get his business ramped and or ramped up. And when you do that, you have to put in a lot more time, a lot more energy, a lot more effort into meeting people, getting in front of people because until you become that known entity or that known brand, you're out there just really pounding the pavement. You should be shooting for the stars, but really pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, trying to walk indoors, and trying to meet people. That is the most important part, especially on the front end of your business. Harvey, tell us more about the work you do in the insurance space.
Yeah, so I always jokingly say, "Do you want to know what I do or what I get paid to do?" And so a lot of what I do is I find people that have problems and I introduce them to people that have solutions. Those are my referral partners. And then I end up doing insurance on the back end. And I like the thought process I learned through Ivan Meisner and BNI, where it's giver's gain. And that if I help enough people get what they want, eventually I'm going to get what I want.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about giving. I keep saying giving is the most important thing you need to do to get. If you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not going to be able to get what you really desire. What's the old saying? What does Jim Rohn say? Help enough people get what they want, you'll end up getting what you want. So let me ask you this question, right, Harvey? Can you talk about the type of insurance that you sell and that you work? Because again, there's commercial, there's property and casualty, there's life, there's so many different aspects of insurance. And I think sometimes people say, wow, you're an insurance person, and they think one thing, but in reality, right, Harvey, you're in a total different field or a total different vertical within the insurance space.
Yeah, so I do commercial and business insurance, and I like property heavy accounts. So churches, apartment buildings, um, mixed use buildings, commercial industrial buildings. And then I also have a connection with contractors because it's amazing how those kind of go together. So special trade contractors, and then I also have a background as a hospital chaplain. So that got me into working with some specialty type health clinics and medical malpractice.
Hmm.
And then I also have an IT background. So that got me into like cyber and intellectual property and technology. And I always laugh that it's funny how many tech startups come to you after they're already bringing in 2 to 5 million in revenue, and they go, "Well, maybe we should have insurance now." And you're like, "Well, you probably should have had that from day one."
Well, Harvey, what I find very just enlightening, ladies and gentlemen, is you heard how Harvey used past skills, past experiences from working in the hospital as a chaplain to get into the hospital and the medical system. He used a lot of his background from IT to be able to get in with cybersecurity and have these conversations. If you are starting something new, right? If you are pivoting like Harvey did from one area of life to another area of life in the professional sense, what is critical, you must lean on the past experiences that you have amassed or have gone through and or learned in your prior professional career that apply to what you're doing now. We call that bridge. Okay, you're going to bridge the old you. So Harvey was in, as was a chaplain. Harvey was in IT. That's the old Harvey. He's now bridged the new Harvey that's in insurance. And what he's doing is he is targeting, going after healthcare. He's going after cybersecurity, IT. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, he goes to other areas as well. But because he can speak their language, it can talk their lingo, now he's able to what? Get in the door. Harvey, please talk about to our global audience when people are starting something new, like you are, how good it is to really lean into things you've done before, right, Harvey? Where you can speak the lingo for the people you're speaking to or you're trying to prospect and get in with.
Yeah, I think it comes to rapport building, and then you're able to help them understand that you know what they're going through and you know what issues they have. I have some specialty clinics that on their insurance, there's always an exclusion for stem cells. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of specialty clinic because I don't need any competition. Um, but uh, the majority of what they do works with stem cells. But the stem cells they work with isn't what the insurance company was intending to exclude. And so I was able to explain to the insurance company and the underwriters what was happening here, and they're willing to manuscript um, stem cell exclusion, except with the use of this type of use or clinic. And that came from the knowledge of being a hospital chaplain and hospice and understanding that specialty and being able to completely explain it to the carrier and the underwriter. And sometimes the underwriters don't even know the risk that they're working on. They might know the parameters, but they may not know the details of it. And that's where having specialized knowledge in this type of field helps. And same with like churches and apartment buildings, being able to go in and do loss control and help them think how the insurance company is going to look at the risk and then explain it to them in the language that they understand. Um, that's the biggest part. Like yesterday, I was with a contractor. I was with an excavator, and then I dropped in on a organ factory. Like I found an organ factory in the middle of nowhere, and I went in and they had a museum, and I got to talk to them about my work with churches. And I didn't even ask for their insurance. I just talked about being a referral partner with me, right? Because there's a lot of churches that need organs or they need organ repair, and so that's part of having a broad knowledge of being able to go in and talk with different people about their business and let them know with the language that they use, that you have an understanding that's deeper than other people they're going to talk to about insurance.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got from that segment, as Harvey said, when he just dropped by to that organization, to that company, he wasn't coming trying to sell them something. He was coming to them looking to create a referral partnership with them, where churches who, of course, need organs, if they come to him and say, "Hey, I want to buy this musical organ for the church," and you're like, "Oh, by the way, sure. Oh, by the way, do you guys have insurance?" And they say, "No, we don't." "Oh, I've got the right partner for you." Bam, Harvey is top of mind. I talk about this all the time, Harvey, and I love your thoughts on this. I tell people in business, you never want to be seen as a vendor, because a vendor is somebody that you will shop their price and you'll always look for the lowest price, and then you'll push a vendor right out the door. You're looking to be a collaborative partner with the people you do business with, which means if someone comes in with a lower price, they're going to come back to you and say, "Hey, can you match this? Can you make it work on your end? I'd rather give you the business than somebody else." And I tell people, when you reach the status, right, Harvey, of being a collaborative partner with people, now you're talking about a whole new level of greatness in your business. What are your thoughts on that, Harvey?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. I tell people all the time that come to me for insurance, if you want a vendor, there are a lot of insurance agents that'll be a vendor. They'll provide quotes for you, and that quote may or may not, that policy may or may not actually work for you in the case to the course of a claim. But if you want a risk management advisor that comes in and builds you a program that's going to last for you this year, it's going to carry you into the next 3 and the next 5 years, and that's who I am. Vendors are about getting paid now and providing maybe a one-off service, but I'm building a book of business with people who want to be my referral partners. That's one of my questions I ask before I prospect someone. Would this be a good referral to my clients and to my referral teams? And if they're not, then why am I working with them? Because I'm building a book of business that can refer each other, and we're a team and we're all helping each other grow. Vendors aren't thinking that way. They're thinking short term. They're thinking about that commission check. They're thinking about, just getting in, getting out, and there's no follow up. There's no service. But a relationship is someone that cares for you just as much as you care for your business. It's like I had an older broker I was talking to a few weeks ago, and he said, "I don't get paid for doing insurance. I get paid for managing anxiety." And that's a partner when I can come in and say, you're no longer a solo entrepreneur or you're no longer a small business because now you have a fractional risk officer. And that's what I'm coming in to help you as your risk advisor. So I'm taking that off your plate, and I'm a partner and I'm a team member now. I'm not an adversary, and I'm not someone that you're trying to get one over to get a better price. I'm working with you on controlling the part of the price that you can control.
Harvey, fantastic interview, great insight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a phenomenal, authentic tip to share at the end of this awesome interview. Again, Harvey, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, I know you're in your car, but ladies and gentlemen, that's the sign of a true individual who's going to hustle and has discipline to get it done. I love people like Harvey that are in their cars doing their interviews, because to me that shows they're out there working their butt off, looking to grow and to expand their business. And again, you can't grow and or expand your business sitting on the sideline. Just like I always say, you can't win the championship belt of your own life sitting and or watching at ringside. Won't happen. Harvey, how can our global audience connect with you?
Yeah, so they can connect with me at uh, I'm gonna do something brave and give my cell phone. And my cell phone number is 530-575-9134. And they can connect with me at thecraneagency.com. And my email address is harvey.mitchell@craneagency.com. And Crane is spelled CRANE agency.com.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, connect with Harvey, reach out to him, and let's have a nice connection with you and him. Again, he's looking for partners, not vendors. And that's the authentic tip of this great interview. Approach every meeting, every interaction, every passing as you looking to be a individual that is a partner and a connection and a conduit for who you are speaking to. Don't look to be a transactional individual. Those individuals don't last long. Be a partner, be a true collaborative individual, and be a conduit. Because when you're a conduit, that person you're talking to, you connect them with who you know, then what happens? They're a conduit for you. They connect you with who they know. Again, my name is Marques Ogden. I am the host of the Get Authentic with Marques show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Nice, Harvey. You're gonna get an email from Danica. Love to set a time to speak